Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The spaceport was alive with noise and color. Ships of all shapes and sizes hovered in the air, landing and taking off with a rhythmic hum. Traders shouted their deals, merchants displayed exotic goods from distant worlds, and travelers hurried along the crowded walkways. Amid this chaos, Alex crouched over the engine of a small transport ship, his hands smeared with grease and his face tense with concentration. He didn't notice the whispers at first, but then a shadow fell over him, and the air around him seemed to change. People stopped what they were doing and stared. Alex finally looked up and froze. Standing before him was Princess Lyra. Her presence was commanding, almost unreal. With her violet skin that shimmered under the port lights and eyes that glowed like twin stars, she seemed like a vision from another world. People bowed instinctively as she walked past, but she stopped right in front of Alex. "Why do you always avoid me?" she asked, her voice calm yet sharp. Alex's heart thumped. He wanted to speak, but the words stuck in his throat. He wasn't just nervous, he was scared. Not of her, exactly, but of what being close to her might bring. He forced a small shrug. I don't know what you mean," he said, though his eyes betrayed him. Lyra raised an eyebrow. "Don't lie. Everyone notices you move away when I approach. I want to know why." Alex looked around. The people in the port were watching, but no one dared to intervene. The silence was heavy. He felt trapped, cornered by someone he couldn't simply ignore. He swallowed hard. "It's nothing personal," he muttered. Lyra tilted her head, studying him. "Nothing personal?" she repeated, her voice softening slightly. "I find that hard to believe." The tension was thick. Alex wanted to explain, but he couldn't. Not yet. Not when his past still haunted him. He remembered the day everything changed. Years ago, during the war between humans and an alien faction, he had seen things no one should ever see. Ships exploding, cities burning, friends lost in seconds. He had survived, but the memories never left him. He couldn't trust aliens, not fully. And even though Lyra was different, the fear lingered, deep and stubborn. He tried to focus on the engine again, pretending to be busy. The hum of the machinery was comforting, a shield against the storm of her presence. Lyra didn't move. She leaned slightly, her glowing eyes studying him. "You think you can hide from me, human?" she asked. Her tone was playful but carried a subtle warning. "I'm not like the others. You can't avoid me forever." Alex tensed. He had hoped she wouldn't push, but she always did. Air was something magnetic about her, something that drew people in, even against their will. "I'm not hiding," he said quickly. I don't know what to say." Lyra let out a soft laugh, almost melodic. "You're honest about that much," she said. "I like that. But honesty isn't enough. I want the truth." Alex's fingers tightened around a wrench. He wanted to run, to escape the uncomfortable intensity of her gaze. But something about her made him pause. She wasn't threatening him, not directly. There was curiosity there, and, maybe even concern. He remembered another detail from his past, another reason he avoided her. During the war, he had seen countless humans treated as pawns by aliens seeking power. He had lost friends he would never forget, and the fear of getting close to someone like her, someone so powerful, was overwhelming. Lyra seemed to sense his hesitation. "You're afraid," she said softly, almost like a whisper meant only for him. Alex froze. He hadn't expected her to see through him so easily. I don't know if you understand," he began. "It's not that I don't want to be around you. It's complicated." Lyra tilted her head again, curiosity deepening in her eyes. "Complicated?" she repeated. "I like complicated. Humans are too easy sometimes. Tell me, or don't, but don't avoid me forever." Alex could feel the sweat on his brow. He wanted to speak the truth, but the words were heavy with memories he had buried deep. Some things are hard to explain," he said finally. Lyra studied him for a long moment. Then, with a graceful movement, she turned and began to walk away. Alex felt a pang of disappointment and relief all at once. But just as he thought she was gone, she stopped and looked back over her shoulder. "I'm not giving up on you," she said simply. "You'll tell me eventually. I have patience." Alex watched her leave, his mind racing. Her words both comforted and terrified him. He returned to his work, hands shaking slightly, trying to focus on the engine. But he couldn't stop thinking about her. That night, after the port had quieted and most travelers had gone to sleep, Alex found himself walking through the narrow alleys of the city. He didn't know why he was there. Part of him wanted to avoid her entirely, but another part hoped she would appear. As if on cue, a shadow fell across the alley. Alex froze. It was her, Lyra, standing there, glowing softly in the dim light. "You're walking alone," she said. "Most humans would run from these alleys at night. Not you." I like walking," Alex said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Clears my mind." Lyra stepped closer, her eyes fixed on him. "You avoid me in public, but here, you seem different." "Why?" Alex hesitated. The memories of war, loss, and fear pressed down on him. He wanted to run, to hide, but her presence held him in place. I've seen things," he said quietly. "Things I can't forget. I'm afraid, not of you, but of what being close to someone like you might mean." Lyra's eyes softened. She reached out, almost touching his arm but stopping just short. "I see," she said. "You carry a heavy burden. And you fear it will affect me if you let me in." Alex nodded slowly. "Exactly." For a long moment, they stood in silence. The city noises seemed distant, almost irrelevant. Alex could feel the weight of her gaze, not pressing, but expectant. Finally, Lyra spoke again. "You don't have to explain everything to me right now. But hiding from me won't protect you, or me." Alex looked at her, feeling a strange mixture of fear and hope. I don't know if I can do this," he admitted. "You can," she said softly. "But first, you have to trust me." The words hung in the air. Alex had never trusted anyone fully since the war. But there was something about her, something that made him consider it. Then, without warning, she gestured toward a sleek ship docked nearby. "Come," she said. "I'll show you something. Maybe it will help you understand." Alex hesitated. The rational part of him screamed to say no, to run and hide. But curiosity, and a strange pull toward her, won. Slowly, he followed. As they walked toward the ship, the port behind them began to empty, the sounds fading. The air seemed charged with anticipation. Every step Alex took felt heavy with unspoken questions, fears, and possibilities. He didn't know what awaited him on the ship, but one thing was certain: his life was about to change. And Lyra, she was silent, watching him closely, her mind filled with curiosity. Why did he avoid her? What secrets did he hold? And would he finally reveal the truth? The ship's doors opened with a soft hiss. Alex took a deep breath. Beyond those doors, a world of mystery, danger, and unexpected connection awaited. Alex stepped onto the ship, his heart still racing. The interior was unlike anything he had ever seen. Smooth metallic surfaces reflected a soft, blue light, and panels of strange symbols blinked as if alive. The ship hummed gently, almost as if it were breathing. Lyra floated gracefully through the corridors, her presence calm yet commanding. Alex followed, trying to keep up, his hands trembling slightly. Every time he glanced at her, he felt a mix of awe and fear. She was powerful, but she also seemed human in her curiosity and attention toward him. "This ship," Alex said, looking around. "It's incredible." Lyra smiled faintly. "It's built for more than travel. It's my sanctuary, a place where I can be free from expectations, from the titles, everyone looking at me as the alien princess." Alex nodded, understanding a little of what she meant. "I can see why you'd want a place like this. Out there," he gestured toward the port, "it's not safe. Not just for you, but for anyone who gets close to you." Lyra's eyes softened. "And yet, here you are, walking beside me, no fear of leaving." I don't know," Alex admitted. "I guess, I'm curious, and maybe, I trust you, more than I've trusted anyone in a long time." Lyra's expression shifted. A mix of surprise and warmth crossed her face. She floated closer. "Trust is a strong word, human. Few earn it from me." Alex swallowed hard. "I know, and I don't take it lightly." For a few moments, silence hung between them, broken only by the hum of the ship. Then Lyra spoke, her voice softer now. "Tell me about your past. Why do you avoid me? I want to understand." Alex took a deep breath. This was the moment he had been dreading. He had never told anyone, not friends, not family, what had happened during the war. But he realized that if he wanted to move forward, he had to be honest. I've seen things," he began, his voice shaking. "Things that no one should ever see. Cities burned to ashes, friends lost in an instant, entire worlds destroyed. I survived, but the memories, they don't leave you. They haunt you." Lyra listened quietly, her eyes fixed on him. She didn't interrupt, didn't judge. She just let him speak. "I've avoided you," he continued, because I'm afraid. Afraid that if I get close, I'll bring my past with me. Afraid that my fear will hurt you. I've seen too much, and I don't want to lose anyone else." Lyra's expression softened even more. She reached out and gently touched his arm. "Alex, you've carried a heavy burden. And yet, here you are, standing before me. That takes courage." Alex looked down, unsure what to say. He had expected anger, disappointment, maybe even ridicule. But Lyra's response was nothing like that. "I never thought someone like you would understand," he whispered. Lyra smiled faintly. "I understand more than you think. Power is a lonely path, Alex. I've lived my life surrounded by people who fear me, who seek me for the wrong reasons. I've been alone, even in a crowd. And yet, here you are, afraid, yes, but real. Honest, that matters." For the first time in years, Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. He realized that Lyra wasn't just the alien princess. She was a person, with fears, hopes, and feelings. And she was willing to see him for who he truly was. Before he could respond, the ship shuddered violently. Lights flickered, and alarms blared. "What's happening?" Alex shouted, gripping a nearby console. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "We're being tracked. A rival faction has followed me here. They know I'm vulnerable. Stay close." Alex's pulse raced. He had expected danger, but not so soon. "What do we do?" Lyra moved with fluid grace, pressing buttons and activating defensive shields. "We fight, if we have to. But we survive. Together." Alex watched her in awe. She wasn't just powerful in appearance, her mind, her reflexes, her strategy, everything about her was precise and commanding. And yet, she looked at him as if he mattered. That realization gave him courage. "Okay," he said finally. Together, the ship rocked as enemy drones emerged from the shadows outside. Laser beams cut through the darkness, and Alex instinctively moved to assist Lyra with the ship's controls. He wasn't a warrior, but he knew machinery. He rerouted power, adjusted shields, and helped keep the ship steady. Lyra glanced at him, a small smile on her face. "You're better than I thought," she said, a hint of admiration in her voice. Alex felt a surge of pride and fear all at once. He was terrified, yes, but he was also protecting her, saving someone he had come to care about. For the first time, his past fears didn't feel like chains. They were fuel. The battle continued, tense and fast-paced. Laser blasts, evasive maneuvers, and alarms filled the ship. Yet amidst the chaos, Alex noticed something else: Lyra's trust in him. She didn't just allow him to help, she depended on him. Finally, after what felt like hours but was only minutes, the enemy drones retreated. The ship's alarms quieted, and the hum of the engines returned to normal. Alex leaned back, breathless, his hands shaking. Lyra floated toward him, her expression unreadable at first. Then she smiled, softly, almost tenderly. "You did well, Alex. Better than I expected. You've earned my respect, and my trust." Alex blinked, unsure what to say. I just did what I could." She shook her head. "No, you did more than that. You faced your fears, and you protected someone who matters. That is bravery." For a moment, they just looked at each other. Words were unnecessary. There was understanding, connection, and something deeper, an unspoken bond that had formed in the crucible of fear and honesty. Then Lyra spoke again, softer this time. "Now, will you answer my question?" Alex felt a lump in his throat. He had already spoken the truth, but now, with danger behind them and the moment quiet, he could finally be fully honest. "I avoided you," he said slowly, "because I was afraid. Afraid of my past, afraid of losing someone again. But I don't anymore. Not with you. I want to be close to you, if you'll let me." Lyra's eyes widened, and for the first time, she looked genuinely speechless. She floated closer, her glowing hands almost touching his. "Alex, I didn't expect that," she whispered. You don't have to answer now," Alex said quickly, afraid of overwhelming her. "I just wanted you to know." Lyra's lips curved into a gentle smile. "I don't need an immediate answer. But I like your honesty. And I like you." Alex's chest tightened. He had never heard anyone say that, especially not someone like Lyra. "I like you too," he admitted, quietly but firmly. The ship hummed around them, peaceful now after the storm. Outside, stars stretched infinitely, a reminder of the vast universe and the dangers it held. But inside, in that small space, there was trust, understanding, and a fragile connection that had survived fear, war, and suspicion. Lyra reached out, this time letting her hand brush against his. "We have a long journey ahead," she said. "Not just across the stars, but together." Alex nodded. "I'm ready." And as the ship soared into the galaxy, leaving the spaceport and its chaos behind, both human and princess realized that this was only the beginning. A beginning of trust, adventure, and maybe something more.